All right, what is up, everybody? We're back with some more TNA. Day one of this company save. We're in September 2002. We are just over 2 weeks away, roughly two more impacts away from getting to our first pay per view, which is Bound for Glory. We already have a couple matches set up for it. We do have some news we do need to talk about here, though. However, we do unfortunately look like we are going to be losing Ultimo Dragon, which sucks. Also, yeah, there's three more impacts. So there's two impacts here in September, and then there's one more impact prior to the pay per view. Okay, cool. So we are losing Ultimo Dragon, which really sucks. But it is what it is. He went to New Japan. There's nothing you can do about it. Also, why is my stream information not showing correctly? We're not playing MLB The Show. No. Let me fix this real quick. Let's fix that. Fix that. Fix that. So everything else saved. Okay. Let's see if that updated. That should have updated now. Okay, cool. All right. So we are going to get right into booking our show here. All right, here we go. So we got three more impacts until our first big pay-per-view, so let's get to it here. Like I said, we are losing Ultimo Dragon, which really sucks because I had hopes to use him for a longer period of time, but hey, that's what you get. You know, nothing we can do about it. Let's get the chat on the screen here. Hopefully this will load fairly quick. It was doing pretty well here a second ago. Let's get. I want to at least, at minimum, get through these three TV shows to get to the pay-per-view. Hopefully we can get through the pay-per-view tonight. That'd be awesome. Alright, Soundstage 21. Booking team meetings. Nothing to really report there. Apollo has shown up. Okay, cool. Anything else? Dave Finlay was helping train Alexis LeRae. That's fine. Nice. Okay, cool. I wasn't talking to you, Google, but okay. Alright, so no Ultimo Dragon tonight and no Christopher Daniels, which we already knew. Alright, so we got our opening video package like usual. So that's a minute long. Pre-taped. Alright, let's put all of our stars like usual. BG James, Buff Bagwell. Dusty. Jerry Lynn. Shamrock, Conan. Ron Killings, Scott Hall. Cool. Alright. So we have that. We'll give this to Steamboat. Okay. So we ended last week's show, if you remember correctly, with the tag titles being left in the balance and then Abyss trying to attack Jerry Lynn. So here's what we're going to do here. We're going to open the show and address the tag division. Addresses, title, contender, situation. So Dusty's gonna tag champs. So we'll start with the tag champs. So that'll be 2 minutes there. So that's Dusty working the crowd. Tag champs are BG James and Conan. And then part 2. Wants AMW to come down. And then we'll add Chris Harris to this. And James Storm. And then calls out Naturals. This is going to be a minute. That's fine, whatever. Okay. We'll make this a minute as well. Okay. And then add a copy. Oops. Dusty Books. Threat tag for let's do this. Naturals versus AMW right now. Let's get that. Let's do that. Let's have that match happen. Save. We'll have Finley be our road agent here. This is all the tag titles. And we're going to go right into America's Most Wanted versus the Naturals. We'll go 8 to 10. Actually, yeah, 8 to 10 will work here. Finley gets the bump, or we'll give this to Dusty, actually. Dusty's going to be here. We're going to have Chase Stevens beat Chris Harris. Excuse me. Due to their manager getting involved. Tainted Win. Flash Pinfall. Obviously, this is going to advance some storylines. Where's manager interference? There it is, right there. Okay. So that'll give me TNA tag belts, Naturals. 3 live crew. Alright, so that's a good way to set that up. That's going to be outside the broadcast and pre-taped. Okay, so that's done. We'll give that to Dusty as well. So we've got that all situated. Okay. We're going to show Jeff Jarrett walking backstage. Jarrett walking backstage. Come on later. Bound for Glory. We'll copy that. Paste. Backstage. Pre-taped. Sure, we'll do that. Staff, we'll give that to Scarlett Armstrong because there's nothing really there to work with. Advance. And we'll advance that storyline right there. Okay. Alright. Let's do little match here. Let's do Jerry Lynn. Let's do Alex Wright. Let's have Jerry Lynn get a nice little win here. We'll give this to Ricky Steamboat. Jerry Lynn's going to get the W over Alex Wright here. Oops, not tainted. Pinfall. Advance their story here. Okay, let's get Mitchell. Stage, send warning to Jerry Lynn. Cool. Copy, paste. We'll do that 2 minutes there. That'll work. Work in the crowd. Work in the crowd. And work in the crowd. Advanced storyline there. And again, we'll go Steamboat there. Yep, perfect. Okay. And then we haven't had Shamrock on the show yet, and if I'm not mistaken, we're gonna have Scott Hall promo from Miami House. He will be back in Impact Zone next week. Bring TNA. Okay, let Scott Hall do his thing with that promo, so that'll come out good. Hopefully. We'll let him do like 3 minutes on the mic there. Actually, no, he's cutting a promo. And then off screen is Ken Shamrock. And we're building that up a little bit. There we go. Okay, we'll give that to Dusty. What are you doing back there? Okay. Let's go into some X Division matches here. Who do we have available? Let's see. Let's do Doug Basham, who is still unimportant. That's fine. Versus David Young. Give Basham a nice little win here. There we go. Keep him going. Open, all out, clean win, pinfall. We'll have AJ Styles. Stage promo. Daniels, who, remember, we won't have Daniels until the pay-per-view because of New Japan, which is perfectly fine because it actually works out. We'll give AJ 2 minutes on the mic here, pre-taped. Nothing crazy. Off screen. Advance a storyline with these two. That way every storyline's still advancing. Let's give AJ a match here, as he is going to face off against let's give him low key again. When last time? I don't want him to face. Okay, he faced Ultimo at last show. At episode 10. Okay, we're still gonna do it here. Give them 12 minutes on the bump. Dusty for the thing there. AJ's going to get the win over Low-Ki here, just like we want to do there. Pinfall. That should be a good rating for the X title there. Yep. Cool. Let's get a Ron stage promo on Buff. Give that 2 minutes. Backstage, pre-taped. Cutting a promo. Stream Buff Bagwell. Cool, cool. We'll have Conan be the agent there. Let's get Ron in a match here as well. Let's do Ron versus... Let's do Guido. See how that goes. That should be a good rating. Guido and Ron Killings. That should be pretty good. Give that to Dave. We'll have Killings get the win here. I want Guido to be kept strong, though. All out. Clean win. Pinfall. Post-match. We'll do the attack with Buff. Post-match. Give that like 2 minutes or so. Okay. Buff Bagwell, attacker. Victim is Ron Killings. Continue their feud. Yes. Let's do that. Good, good. We'll do... oops, where'd he go? There he is. Let's do Ken Shamrock versus... Let him face BG James. We haven't had him on the show. Besides that opening promo. So let's do that. And we'll have Shamrock obviously get the win here. Over 1/2 of the tag champs. Doesn't hurt BG to lose here. And pinfall. We should have enough time to do the segment I want. Yep, perfect. Mystery opponent. Segment to end show. Bless you. Okay, it's enough now. Come on. And then we'll have the big reveal for Steiner to end the show. Scott Steiner has officially debuted now here in TNA. Double J, yep. Give that to Dusty. Oh, he wants to be unscripted. That works. There we go. That's our show there. Let's do a couple pre-show matches. Let's do... girls there. Oops. Oh, that's right. Okay. And then let's do also... let's do Fatal 4-Way on the pre-show. Tony Mamaluke. Sabin, Eric Young, and Ken Anderson. Because why not? And we'll keep everybody strong. I'm assuming Sabin's going to get the win here, but that's fine. All right. Save, and let's run it. Hopefully this will be a decent show rating. I'm assuming the ending should be a pretty good one. Yeah, there's no, whatever. We'll just delete it. Yes, there we go. None of these are helpful here. Okay, let's run the show here. Let's do it. Alright, these two are getting better here with the pre-show. We'll take that. Fatal 4-Way is pretty good. Almost everybody's in the 40s there for performance. Good, good. Opening of the show. Okay, good. 54 for the opening promo. That's usually where it sits. Okay, this actually came out really good. So 60 rating on the whole tag team situation here, where Dusty calls out all the tag teams that are around the tag titles right now, starting with BG and Conan, who are the champs, Storm and Harris and the Naturals, and we get AMW versus the Naturals next, with the winners facing 3 Live Crew next week for the TNA Tag Team Championships. In a decent match, the Naturals defeat America's Most Wanted 8-10 when Chase Stevens pins Chris Harris after Alexis LeRae interferes. Wrestling a 50, crowd 35, segment 53. Chase with a 47, Douglas 46, Harris 52, Storm 55. Storylines have advanced, and we have a tag team title match for next week's Impact. As it will be heel versus heel team here. BG, James, and Conan facing off against the Naturals. And TNA Tag Titles. There we go. Boom. So that's there now. Not bad match there. And this should be the segment that announces that match. Yep, shows the graphic of the tag team title match for next week. 48 little rating there. We get Jeff Jarrett walking backstage as he still has no idea who his opponent is for Bound for Glory, as he will be finding out later tonight. 60 rating on that. Just a quick little showcasing of Jarrett walking backstage there. In a decent match, Jerry Lynn defeats Alex Wright in 7:15 with a Tornado DDT. Wrestler rating 47, crowd 32.50 on the segment there. Jerry Lynn checks in at 57, Alex Wright at 38. The Lynn and Abyss storyline has advanced, and commentary lifted the match. Good win here for Jerry Lynn. Get him back in the win column. Post-match, James Mitchell comes out with Abyss onto the ramp and drops a warning on Jerry Lynn, as these two will go at it at Bound for Glory. Jerry Lynn versus Abyss. 52 rating there. We get a promo from Scott Hall while he's in Miami and his Miami house. Says that at Bound for Glory, he is going to bring the TNA Championship back home with him, and taking it away from Shamrock at Bound for Glory. 75 rating out of Scott there. Storyline has advanced, and Scott Hall clearly enjoyed having the freedom. So good stuff out of that. Building up our main event nicely. And about that had decent wrestling, but didn't have much heat. Doug Basham defeats David Young in 7:29 by pinfall. Wrestling of 46, crowd of 23, segment of 47. Doug Basham 47, David Young of 46. Gail Kim did good work at ringside, and Doug Basham's getting better at his gimmick. So good stuff there. Not too bad. Second impact for Doug Basham. I know he's not the most charismatic guy in the world, but at least gives me a good hand to add to the card. We get a backstage promo from the phenomenal AJ Styles as the X Division champion. Remember, Christopher Daniels is in Japan for the next 3 weeks before Bound for Glory, so AJ Styles said he's going to get tune-up matches as well, starting with tonight, as he is going to face Low Ki in a non-title match. 59 rating there. He faced Ultimo Dragon last week. This week it's Low Ki. And in a great match, and about that superb wrestling and decent reaction from the crowd, AJ Styles defeats Low Ki in 10 minutes by pinfall with a Styles Clash. Wrestling rating 67, crowd of 34, segment of 68. Low-key 61, AJ 73, and the X Division title story has advanced. So good stuff here out of these two. These two I could put in a match whenever I want, and I know it'll be at least high 60s. What else we got here? Come on. There we go. We get a backstage promo from Ron Killings talking about Buff Bagwell and their match coming up at Bound for Glory. But he's in action next against, let's see, 53 rating here. He's in action against Guido, and unfortunately they do not have any chemistry at all. In a decent match, Ron Killings defeats Guido by pinfall on 7:45 with a Truth or Consequences. Wrestling of 50, crowd of 37, segment of 51. That's a little disappointing. Killings with a 53, Guido a 48. I mean, not everybody clicks. That's just how it is, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. We now know this now going forward. But either way, a win for Ron Killings. Post-match, Buff Bagwell slides in and attacks Ron Killings from behind as Killings is going up the ramp. So this match is just brewing for Bound for Glory, and we're getting closer and closer to finally getting this match. 52 segment there. And about that, fantastic heat and great wrestling. Ken Shamrock defeats BG James in 10:25 by pinfall. Wrestling rating 59, crowd 59, segment 60. Shamrock a 68, BG James a 50. And we're ending the show with the Jeff Jarrett segment. Jeff Jarrett's in the ring cutting a promo, waiting to find out who his opponent is for Bound for Glory when the lights go out and the siren hits as Big Papa Pump Scott Steiner walks out onto the stage. And he is Jeff Jarrett's opponent for Bound for Glory. And he has officially crossed the line and joined Total Nonstop Action. So we now have our 5th match for Bound for Glory. As it'll be Jeff Jarrett facing off against Big Papa Pump Scott Steiner. Nice little WCW 2000 match there, if you will. 67. I wish that was a little bit higher. I was hoping that was going to be better. He came across well. What was the dirt sheet on that? Just didn't hit. Okay, that's fine. It's all good. All right, finish the show. Let's see what we got here. 63, nice. We'll take that. We increased our popularity in 12 regions. We're almost at that 600 plateau for the next level of amount of people at the show, so hopefully we can get there soon. Let's see if we got any popularity increases. Alright. No popularity increases, but that's okay. We're getting there. The main thing is none of our shows are losing us popularity. At this point, everything has to be pushing us forward. We can't go backwards on popularity. That's real bad. As long as we're not going backwards. Let's do this. All right. Well, this decides to take its sweet time in loading. Let's see if there's any new opportunities here. OVW's got all sorts of new tag teams going on here. Okay. Yeah, they have Sting. So once we get Sting from WWA, they'll be toast. All right. 110,000. Okay. All right. Now we just have to get to the next show. Hopefully we can get these 3 shows done here. That way the next time we go live, it's ready to go for Bound for Glory. Damn, Orlando's beating the Knicks by 20? Holy hell. I don't think there's anybody else coming up for WWE here. That's Roddy Piper, okay. Okay, yeah, Ultimo Dragon's already got people as mentors or becoming a mentor for people already in New Japan. Jesus. And we're probably not going to get him for the next Impacts at all. That was probably his last matches with AJ there, because he's not going to say no to being on New Japan to be on our show. It's the same problem we have with Daniels, which the Daniels thing might just be the reason when we do put the belt on him for the X title, we might have to make it a quick title run, because otherwise it's going to be an issue there. Alright, let's see, what else? Booker T's back to 100%. Rikishi's injured. John Cena resigns with WWE. Christopher Nowinski resigns with WWE. Okay. That's fine. No problem with either one of those. Hopefully, I mean, once we get into 2003 and stuff, it's a floodgate for all the contracts coming up with WWE. So there's going to be guys at some point that they're not going to resign that we can hopefully swoop in and make something happen with. Not that I want to side everybody, but having a good mix of your own guys and then guys you can bring in from other places as well makes it a good roster, you know. Randy Savage, okay. Teddy Long resigns, okay. Liz Mart Jr. I already have him on my short list, so we're good there. I don't think he's wanting to work in the U.S. Yeah. Which sucks, because I would definitely sign him, because he's so good. Oh, he has no charisma, but he's so good in the ring. That sucks. Okay. Oh, they've offered him an extension, so that's good. Okay, till the next day we go. While we wait for it to load. I don't know where that went. Oh, that's going to be a fun problem, figuring out where that went. Okay. 2 more days till the next show here. I just want to look at something. Oh, we will have both of them. Okay, cool. Oh. Might not be that bad. and everybody's available for Bound for Glory, which is good. Two more impacts until finally hitting Bound for Glory. We're so close. So close to getting to Bound for Glory. Best young prospect, John Cena. Yeah, that checks out. I am worried that we are probably going to lose, or that WWE's going to try to swipe Punk and Cabana at some point. We can't let that happen, though. Alright, let's see what we got going on. Alright. Benoit and Mysterio as a storyline. That's pretty good. There we go. My buddy wanted to see the card. Okay. So now we have okay. Alright, let's book our show here. We're getting closer at 570. Alright, locker room incidents. Sure, you can work a pre-show match. Good job, Sabin. Okay, that's fine. Yep, training's good. Alright. Nothing to really address there. That's pretty solid. And we only don't have Jeremy Borash. That's okay. Opening video package like usual. Now that we have Steiner added to the mix. Alright. Let's get through all these guys. Coming in. Scott Steiner. All right. No storylines to advance on that. Okay. In-ring promo. Let Steiner cut like a 4-minute promo here. Cutting a promo. Off screen is Jeff Jarrett. Who can we have interrupt him? Need a heel. We don't have a heel. Alright, let's give this to Dusty Rhodes. And Steiner is facing David Young right now on Impact. Just so we can, one, get him have his match, and then we'll see what we're dealing with for ratings wise here. Alright, we'll make this a quick match. Give that to Dusty. There we go. Alright. Backstage promo. We'll give them 2 minutes, pre-taped. Off screen, keep that storyline alive and well. We'll give that to Finlay. Alright, let's put Abyss in a match. We haven't had him on Impact in a hot minute here. And let's do... put him up against Jimmy Yang. Oops. We'll give that to Finlay. Abyss will get the win here. Alright, let's get backstage promo. Prior to their tag title defense. BG James and Conan cutting a promo. Good. Tag titles and that one. Yep. Yes. Pre-booking. Let's go 10 to 12 on this one. Sure. I mean, it's going to keep everybody strong, so. Cheap win. DQ finish. We're going to have all storylines advance here. There we go. Take care, Conan. Most Wanted stands tall. Here we go. Attacker. Andy Douglas. Chase Stoops. Stevens. BG and Conan. Okay. So that'll advance that story, those two storylines. To Finley. Here we go. AJ Styles. So we're gonna have AJ cut the promo here. Maybe if I can click. There we go. We'll have him. He's going to face Aries in this match. There we go. X title. Give that to Steamboat. Alright, we'll have AJ versus Aries here. Give that to Steamboat. AJ gets the win. No harm, no foul there. Beats Aries. Advances the X title storyline. Okay. Ultimo has some words. Because I think they're going to probably be my opening match on Bound for Glory. We'll see. That's probably the move. That'll work. Okay. Let's do a little tag match here. What have we not used in a while? Let's do those two. We can face New York and who the hell's his partner? Joey Matthews. Give them 7 minutes. Cabana can get the win. All Out. And pinfall. Good, good. You'll have an answer. Tag title situation next week. That's going to be backstage. Pre-taped. Working the crowd. Good. And he obviously can't be the road agent on that. Alright, let's do three-way match. Let's do Ultimo Dragon, Chris Sabin, heel, and low key. That'll be a hell of a match. 8 to 10. We'll give that 12 minutes. That's going to be a hell of a match. Staff, we'll give that to Dusty. Loki's going to get the win over Ultimo. Like so. Open, all out, clean win, pinfall. We'll have Aries interfere there. Boom. Good. That might be too long. Let's cut that a little bit. There we go. And then we'll have Buff do his little thing here. Which I'm probably... I don't want to let him walk after Bound for Glory, but I feel like it's kind of necessary. Since him and Steiner are such a problem child situation. Alright, let's do Buff versus Shamrock here to end the show. Buff versus Shamrock. That's Dusty. Sure. All out, clean win. Distraction finish. Killings, good. Yes. Alright. Go 8 to 10 here. Don't care. Okay, there we go. TNA title. That'll work nicely. There we go. Copy, paste, 4 minutes. Scott Hall, attacker. Ken Shamrock, victim. Advance the storyline. And Dusty, yes. Am I using Dusty too much? Oh, then no. Cool, we're good. Let's have pre-show. Monty Brown, you're gonna squash this dude, whoever that is. There we go. Alright, there we go. Let's run this here, see how this goes. Alright, Monty Brown's now in the 51 range. Okay, we're getting somewhere with him. That's good. Alright, we get to our opening video package. It's now bumped up to a 58 with adding Steiner to the mix, so that's good. We're getting better with that, so that's a nice way to start the show, I think. Scott Steiner comes down to the ring and cuts a promo on why he joined TNA and that he is, in fact, the mystery opponent for Jeff Jarrett for Bound for Glory. And that Big Papa Pump is come here for the TNA Championship, and that he is going to take over just like he did with WWE as well as WCW. David Young is his opponent next. And in a superb match, Steiner defeats David Young in 6 minutes by submission with a Steiner recliner. Wrestling rating of 59, crowd of 50, segment of 62. Steiner with a 72 and David Young with a 46. So Scott Steiner will be getting me nice ratings here, at least for 2002. So that's good. I'm actually really pumped about that, having a new main eventer like this. We get a backstage promo from James Mitchell and Abyss talking about their match with Jerry Lynn for Bound for Glory. We keep building that up and looking forward to seeing how that match goes, because both guys will be going in very different directions post Bound for Glory. In a decent match, Abyss defeats Jimmy Wang in 7:08 with a chokeslam. Wrestling of 51, crowd of 29, segment 54. Abyss of 44, Jimmy Yang with a 59. Abyss was off his game, otherwise good chemistry from him and Mitchell. Backstage promo from 3 Live Crew, BG James and Conan talking about their tag team title defense next. 51 on that segment there. And our tag team title match, in a decent match, the Naturals technically win in 8 minutes by DQ when James Storm runs in and super kicks Andy Douglas. Wrestling 44, crowd of 40, segment 45. Conan was all pissy about this match, 39, BG of 50, Chase 42, Douglas 45. And then post match, America's Most Wanted stands tall, hitting their finisher on all 4 men, holding up the TNA Tag Team titles. 49 on that segment there. We are definitely clearly going towards a triple threat for the tag titles at Bound for Glory. Backstage promo from AJ Styles, still discussing Christopher Daniels, and says that he wants someone to step up tonight and show that they want an opportunity at the X Division champ. 46 from AJ. This is mainly also just to give AJ more promo time because he needs to develop that. And about that, superb wrestling and decent reaction from the crowd. AJ Styles defeats Aries in 9:40 with a spiral tap. Wrestling a 63, crowd of 32, segment 63. Aries a 57, AJ a 68. Storyline has advanced, but AJ was off his game. If he's off his game and getting me 68 ratings, I'm cool with that. Good stuff here out of these two guys. Post-match, as we go backstage, Ultimo Dragon and Aries have a little dust-up backstage. Just trying to set up this match for Bound for Glory as the opening match, because since Ultimo's leaving, I want him to put over Aries. Tag team match, and about that had decent wrestling, but didn't have much heat. Second City Saints defeat the Bad Street Boys in 6:59 when Cabana pins Joey Matthews. Wrestling rating of 49, crowd 21, segment 54. Cabana 51, Punk 52, Matthews 44, York of 50. All chemistry is fantastic there, so good stuff here. It gets Second City Saints closer and back in the tag team title hunt potentially. Is it going to load? There we go. We get an announcement from Dusty Rhodes that he will address the tag team title situation next week on Impact. 64 rating there out of Dusty. On a triple threat match, and about to have good wrestling, but didn't have much heat. Low-Key defeats Ultimo Dragon and Chris Sabin in a triple threat. Low-Key pinned Ultimo Dragon after a ghetto stomp after Aries ran in and attacked Ultimo, leading to the finish. Low-Key carried the match. Wrestling rating 53, crowd 23, segment 59. Ultimo 51, Sabin 47, Low-Key a 60. Good triple threat from our X Division guys. Backstage promo from Buff Bagwell, discussing his match with Killings for Bound for Glory, and that he's about to face the TNA champ in the main event. And in a superb match, Ken Shamrock defeats Buff Bagwell in 9:31 by submission. Ron Killings distracted Buff Bagwell, leading to him getting caught in the ankle lock. Wrestling rating of 58, crowd 56, segment 66. Buff with a 47, Shamrock a 69, and the storylines have advanced and gained heat. And to end the show, Scott Hall has returned, hits the ring, hits the Razor's Edge on Shamrock, and takes ownership of the TNA Championship as the show comes to an end. 71 rating there, and the storyline has advanced and gained heat. And our show rating was a 65. Our show increased popularity in 12 regions, which we love. We'll take that. Financial, I'm not worried about. We gained popularity in our main region, which is Southeast. We are now at a 44. We're building that. We're hoping to hit 50 as soon as possible here, so that's awesome. We'll take. And then Scotland, we gained up to 7, so that's cool. So we're going international a little bit here. And guys, we have officially made it to the go-home show for Bound for Glory. So we got one more Impact to book tonight. And then once we're done with that, we will call it a night. And then our next episode will have Bound for Glory. So that's exciting. See if anything becomes available for us here. Maybe we have a debut at Bound for Glory. That'd be pretty cool. Nothing to report there. Couple injuries. Okay. Conan. Okay. Good. You are correct. He will be a star. Good job, Conan. Way to nail that. Let's see, we have the go home show, so I'm just trying to figure out how I want to go about this show. Darren Fox just refuses to score points. Unreal. Okay. I don't know who that is from New Japan. But he does not interest me. He's 100% a heel. Yeah, oh, he has popularity somehow. He's an MMA guy. We already have one of those. We're almost there. The Bound for Glory build will officially be over. One more Impact to go. Once this ever loads. Ooh, Lance Storm. Now, see, now this would be someone I really want. He'd be 17,000. What's their offer? 3 years. Yeah, they're giving him a better offer. How about? And I'll bring him in for 4. No, he doesn't like that either. Okay, how about 24,000? It's because of that bonus. That's really what this is. Yeah, this is gonna be a tough one to maneuver because I can't offer him more than that. $27 is probably my max. Yeah, I'm not signing Lance Storm. 27,000 is way more than I should pay for him. He would be my highest paid guy. No, absolutely not. So they can keep him. Not interested there. I'm interested in Chris Candido though. Might be able to bring him in for something. Alright, let's keep going. Yeah, definitely not gonna. I mean, I love me some Lance Storm, but I'm not bringing him in to be my highest paid guy right off jump. Absolutely not. Let's get this last show on the road here, get that done for us, and we'll be good to go. 5 there. Okay, next day. Very young Sean Spears. Ooh, Billy Kidman. Let's see what. Oh, he's grossly overpaid. No, no, no. I'd love to have him, but not for that. He doesn't want to work in the U.S., I don't think, right? Nope. Okay, then I'm not interested in you either. We're almost to the end of the month here, which is good. Once we hit December, it'll be a place where we can finally change our TV deal as well, so we're not losing $50K every single week. Process. Oh, this should be the last day of the month, so this will be a brand new. Yep, there we go. Alright, Big Show got hurt. Okay, OVW signed Matt Morgan and John Morrison. Okay, Eddie Kingston signed Oshikara. Okay, I just want to see some real quick. Okay, Brody Lee, cool. And a couple of those. Okay. Good deal. All right. Well, we have one more day until this Impact, and we'll book the Impact, get that done, and we'll see how it goes. All right, new champion. Tajiri won the Cruiserweight title. Okay. Oh, we got to re-sign Gail Kim. Here we go. She's signed. Good. All right, let's book this Impact. We're at 32%. Jesus. Okay. All right. So close to 600. So close. Okay. Booking team. Let's get some creative finishes here for the pay-per-view. We don't want a bit of a gamble. We need guarantees here. Yep, that's what we need. Safe bet. Okay, that doesn't really help me with AJ, but okay. Alright. Locker room incidents. Ooh, Karagas. Okay. PJ Black, sure. Yep, Christian York. Pre-show. Alright. And Borash is the only absent guy. Cool. We got no pre-booking besides Dusty Rhodes addressing the tag title situation, so okay. Let's get all of our people for this. Scott Steiner. Beautiful. Alright. Let's open the show. Alright. In-ring promo. Steiner, and then add a copy of that. Drops back and forth. Alright, that's that. Give that to Dusty. To advance that storyline. Austin Aries versus Frankie Kazarian. Haven't gotten to use Frankie much recently, so we're gonna have Frankie get the win here. All out, flash pinfall, distraction finish by Ultimo. Okay, we'll keep you strong, Aries, just to keep you happy. That's fine. Alright. Post-commercial. Lays out challenge. Dragon 4 bound for glory. Little backstage thing from Aries. Okay. Let's go into taking it to last week. Okay, good. Good. All right, let's go into I'll have Dusty come out. In the ring works for me. Off screen. Off screen. Screen. Off screen. And off screen. So that'll advance all of that. Lots of promos to get things started here, but that's okay. We're going to do a tag match. Hopefully this match isn't a dumpster fire, but we'll give it a shot. So it's going to be two feuds teaming up with each other here. So we got Ron Killings and Jerry Lynn facing off against Abyss and Buff Bagwell. Alright. All Out. Oops, not scripted. All Out. Pinfall. Manager interference. Advance both storylines. Alright. AJ Styles. Backstage promo. It's pre-taped. Who do we want to have him face this week? Yeah, that's fine. Who do we got? Who do we got? So we got AJ. Who could we throw up against him? Let's do Guido. Give them 10 to 12. AJ gets the win. Clean pinfall. Daniels is going to lay him out. Daniels returns and lays out AJ. And we'll do that for 2 minutes. Oops. Put down. And now every storyline has officially been situated here. Oops, Ricky Steamboat, cool. Alright, let's do a backstage thing. Let's give Monty Brown some time on the mic here. See how this goes. If it doesn't go well, then whatever. Alright, Monty Brown gets the win there. We're going to put him up against... We'll do Tony Mamaluke. Alright. Yeah, we'll give that to Finlay. There we go. Let's do Loki versus Ultimo. Let's give them 10-12 because that triple threat match is not going to go long. We'll give Loki the win. Open, All Out, This is not clicking. Thank you. There we go. And then let's do backstage promo. Backstage pre-taped. Oops. Pre-taped. Okay. BG James. Why is this clicking so badly? Here we go. Triple threat match. BG James versus Andy Douglas versus James Storm. 8-10. BG James is going to win this one. There we go. And then we have our contract signing. Let this go for like 8 minutes. Give that to Ricky Steamboat and advance the storyline. All right. Who's pissy about losing this week? Is it Aries? Yeah. All right. Let's get to the last show here. Oh, I didn't even see you, Michael. What's up, man? Yeah, I did see the rumors of that. I appreciate you following as well. I don't think Skeens is going to the Yankees, at least not this offseason. If anything, it's going to be maybe after next he'll get moved. But I hope like hell as a Red Sox fan, I really don't want to see that. All right, this is our go-home show, guys, for our for Bound for Glory. This is our last Impact before the big pay-per-view. Let's see how it goes. All right, so we had a good opening promo. Pretty much what we expect here from all of our main guys here for the opening video package. 56 rating on that one. Jeff Jarrett comes down to the ring, cuts a promo on Scott Steiner. Kind of just talks down to him, says that, WCW, I beat you multiple times. Nothing's going to change here in TNA. Steiner interrupts, and it's kind of awesome to see we have another big main event feud now that we can kind of go to. With a 79 rating overall with this. I do not have a football team. 79 on these two going back and forth. Oh, you're having a good year then, man. Michael, the Colts are a good team. Daniel Jones all of a sudden is a good quarterback. So good stuff here out of these guys. Obviously, we know their match should be pretty good when it comes to Bound for Glory. So these two guys, and plus getting Scott Steiner is such a huge pickup for us. All right, in our first bout of the evening in a decent match, Frankie Kazarian defeats Austin Aries in 8 minutes by pinfall following a distraction from Ultimo Dragon. Wrestling rating 44, crowd 26, segment of 43. Pacers are 1-10. Holy crap. There's no Tyrese Halliburton, so that's probably why. Aries a 45, Kazarian a 43. They didn't click, but that's fine. I just wanted to simply set up the match for the opener of the pay-per-view, which we just did. Aries lays down the challenge for Ultimo Dragon, so let's get that on the books here. Maybe if my mouse clicks. Thank you. So that'll be the opening match for Bound for Glory. Austin Aries versus Ultimo Dragon. Ultimo Dragon's final match with us is he's going to be going to New Japan. Well, those people from my Reds fans, but I like the Yanks. Hey, man, gotta do what you gotta do. I'm interested to see what you guys end up doing this offseason because there's so much. I mean, baseball is about to get real crazy, man. We get a video package of Scott Hall stealing the TNA title last week from Ken Shamrock after laying him out with a razor's edge. 66 rating on that one. We get the promo from Dusty Rhodes where in ring he announces that the triple threat tag team titles will happen at Bound for Glory, which we did not pre-book, I don't think. Nope. Someone was nice. Good deal, man. There's just a kid that just got drafted for my hometown this year. I think he went number 6 overall, I think. I don't remember what team drafted him, but I think the Cardinals, maybe. All right, Andy Douglas, Chase Stevens, James Storm, Chris Harris, BG James, and Conan. TNA Tag Team titles. TNA Tag Team Championship. Nope, not the TNA title. Tag Team. Thank you. All right, that card's looking pretty good. 51 on that segment there. He also announces there'll be a triple threat match later tonight in our tray ball. Sounds familiar. And about that, good wrestling and decent reaction from the crowd. Abyss and Buff Bagwell, we combined 2 feuds for this match. Defeat Jerry Lynn and Ron Killings at 9:52, and AJ pins Jerry Lynn following a distraction from James Mitchell. Wrestling rating of 54, crowd of 41, segment was a 60. Killing 67, Lynn of 56, Buff of 48, and Abyss of 44. Storylines have all advanced, leading into Bound for Glory, which we should have both of those matches on here now. Yep, they're both there. Okay, cool. AJ Styles cuts a backstage promo just like he has the last few weeks. Ready to go to see who he's going to step up to him this week. Who's it going to be? It's going to be Guido, the leader of the FBI, and about to had superb wrestling and decent reaction from the crowd. AJ Styles defeats Guido in 9:49 by pinfall with a Styles Clash. Wrestling rating of 66, crowd 36, segment 66. He was drafted 7th overall. Oh, that sucks. That's not very nice. Major bust. We don't like that. AJ Styles 74, Guido a 59. But post-match, Daniels returns out of nowhere and hits Angel Wings on AJ Styles, leaving AJ laying. This is the X Division Championship match at Bound for Glory, so I'm excited to see how good this match can be, as we will be switching the belt to Daniels. Spoiler alert. Monty Brown cuts a promo backstage. Just wanted to see where he was at, as we are going to hopefully start featuring him a little bit more going forward. In a decent match, he defeats Tony Mamaluke in 7:09 with the Pounce. Wrestling rating of 47, crowd of 25, segment of 45. Mamaluke of 43, Monty Brown of 51. And then about that, good wrestling and decent reaction from the crowd. Low Key defeats Ultimo Dragon in 9:53 by pinfall with a Ghetto Stomp. Wrestling rating of 55, crowd of 29, segment of 60. Low Key of 58, Ultimo of 53. Now we're literally just having Ultimo lose to whoever we can on his way out, as that's kind of how it works in wrestling. When you're on your way out of a company, you have to take losses. We get a backstage promo from 3 Live Crew. Pretty pissed off about the triple threat match tonight, and pissed off about the tag team title match, as BG James announces he will be representing the 3 Live Crew in this triple threat match. And a good match that surprised me, actually. BG James defeats Andy Douglas and James Storms in a triple threat match in 8 minutes when BG James pins James Storm with a dog pound. Wrestling rating of 53, crowd of 44, in segment 58. All 3 men got us 53s, and the storyline has advanced and gained heat. And in our main event segment of the evening, which is the contract signing for the TNA Championship, Scott Hall comes to the ring with the TNA title first. Shamrock comes down to the ring. Dusty instructs them to not go at each other. Dusty does reclaim the TNA title and hands it back to Shamrock, as both men do sign the contracts. Scott Hall tries to get one up on Shamrock, and Shamrock locks in the ankle lock as the show comes to a close. 79 rating on that, and the finish of our go-home show gets us a rating of 65 back-to-back weeks. Show increased on popularity in 12 regions, which is fantastic. We will gladly take that. Financially, I know we're still having issues there. popularity. We gained in the mid-south, southwest, and tri-state. We're almost in the 30s now there. So that's good. We're getting somewhere there. All right, and we officially have gotten through all the build up to Bound for Glory. So the next time we are live, guys, when we are doing the wrestling show, which should be sometime this weekend coming up, we will be booking Bound for Glory and the post Bound for Glory kind of situation we have. Lots of stuff to kind of go through. Like I said, we are going to be losing Ultimo Dragon after Bound for Glory. We'll see if there's anybody coming in for us from other places. But overall, that we've finally gotten through to the build up to Bound for Glory. So the next time we come together, like I said, we'll be booking that. I might play some MLB The Show the next couple days as well. So look forward to that. We'll get back on our Nintendo Wii and play some Mario Baseball soon as well. Just been with the new job, we're just trying to get everything kind of rolling with that. So appreciate you guys coming through. Michael, I appreciate you coming through and following, man. Come through on the next stream, man. I think I'm gonna post it for probably some point on Saturday, maybe or Sunday, and we'll go from there. But you guys have been awesome tonight. We appreciate it, and I will catch you guys later. So have a good one.